Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp on the Limp, and I'm back with some more Blackhorse. So having fun with this one before. We're going to jump right back into where we left off. I had left off right here with the Soviet turn as they were doing an impulse, bringing a whole bunch of units in. I think I had missed one movement of the command marker over here with the 11th ACR because I know they did some firing. So he fired, and I know I had a movement order. No, they would be at 2. They would just be at 2 because I don't think I've fired anybody else yet. Oh, I can't remember. I'll have to check it. It's 1. It's not that big of a deal. But I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot more firing on the Soviet turn because one of the aspects I kind of like about this when it comes to the opportunity fire is, yes, you want to fire on your opponent's turn, but this isn't like other games in the fact that it costs you those command points. So catching them on the move is great, but by catching them on the move, I'm having to pay a point, one of these activations on my command each time I shoot versus issuing one fire order and just firing away. Yeah, I get to catch them on the move, but I would rather just fire with everyone. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to let them finish moving on. These other units haven't technically entered the board yet. We were moving those on. We did catch their most dangerous anti-air asset, which was good because I want to try to preserve my helicopters as much as possible because they're pretty much all that's going to be able to hold back this huge just tide of Soviet forces. So we had this first group coming on, and everything is 4 movement points. That's something that's different. There's no movement points on any of these counters because it's all 4 movement points, with the exception of helicopters. Helicopters are technically unlimited, but they do have the need to have a movement order issued to them. Yet, when they are... No, I am remembering it because I did issue the order to move the helicopters on board. That would have been 1, and I fired twice, so that would be... I knew I was missing one on there. Anyway, when they are moving onto the board, like I mentioned previously, it is 4 movement points. But if you are in march mode, that's when you get to take advantage of the movement point cost, right? So there's tactical movement point cost, and then there's movement point cost here when we're in march mode. And Autobahn, man, they get to just move freely. But where are they at? I believe they are at half movement point costs for the roads that they're on. Yeah, they're on secondary roads now. So all roads are secondary roads with the exception of the Autobahn in this one. So in essence, they get to move 8 hexes instead of just the 4 hexes that it would be. But the drawback, you do have to pay a movement point order, or you have to issue a movement order rather to take them out of march and to put them into march. So it takes a little bit. You got to kind of load up, get ready, get going, all that good stuff. All right, so they entered here. So that was 1/2, 1. How many? I'm going to need, 7? 7 hexes worth? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got to move him all the way down to there to get my whole train on. And I don't think I am going to fire with anyone else opportunity. I'm going to wait, but I am planning on moving all these guys on. So he's going to go there, and that should leave me 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Where am I missing? Oh, okay, this is the next group that is coming on. All right, so anyway, moving our tanks on, and we've got our command unit here, the HQ. He is on. He's got a range of 3, command range of 3. And you can see that there. I'll zoom in, put a little magnifier on here, but 4 is his command level, how good he is at command. And then 3 is his command range, so he can command out to a range of 3 in the tactical mode that he's in. However, if we flip him over to deployed mode, then he gets 4, so they get to space out a little bit more. But it's going to take a minute to get him over there. All right, there, and now we're going to move these guys on behind them, and he's going to go here, and then lastly, which these guys ended up just way out in the open here. This is the group of onboard artillery, because the Soviets do have the difference in the fact that they do have that onboard artillery. Oh, I need to find a way to hit them with some HE. Oh, do I dare? Do I call in some offboard artillery? Because I can do that and try to blow up all their onboard artillery. And where are we going with this screwball? Because he came on with them. I think we're going to tuck him in the back. So he came on, and we'll put him here. It is the head HQ, because remember, he is moving on with the 211th. So we have the 45th, now the 211th. So both of those units with the march counters, those are the HQs. So we've got two big groups on here, and this group already started on the map, so they're back here. They're trying to come in the rear. But you see the American forces are now just utterly surrounded. Huge group, little recon force back here, part of that FSE recon group that the Soviets have. But now that finishes their movement order. Now we're back to them. Now, who did I attach them to? I think I attached them to the 45th. That's right, because the FSC has to be attached to someone, because they do not have a command counter. So all of this crap that the Soviets have done has just been 2 movement points, 2 movement issued orders on their command track. Both of their command counters are at the level 2. The Americans, the 11th ACR, because I did some opportunity fire, are already down here to 4. But now it's their turn again. And here's where things start changing up. And now they're on the board. I've got all my units on the board. And this is the difference I was talking about. I can issue an order, a fire order, because... sorry about my camera. So I can issue a bunch of different types of orders. That's what this is here. Order summary. Airstrikes, assaults, call for fire, coordination, engage, fire, combat, movement, posture, rally, resupply. Rally and resupply is where you'll get back like your ATGMs on your onboard units. The helicopters have to fly back to base to get those. But these are all the different types of orders that you can issue. But you put down here, you have to roll on the Schnaffer table. Now, no. There was one that I wanted to touch on. Oh, call for fire. That's kind of neat. All right. So you can attach these off-board artillery assets, right? So like here's one for the Americans, right? They've got this 111th battery here. I think this one's attached to the 11th ACR. Yeah. They are attached to the 11th ACR. So I can do a call for fire, have that artillery fire. And when you do that, that counter gets flipped over to its fired side, right? Really cool stuff. You can do a refit, or I think it's a movement order. I have to look, see which one it is. One of the two will cause him to flip back over so you can use him again. However, that's how it works with individual formations. So individual formations, the 11th ACR, the 45th, 211th, they can have artillery attached to them. They can fire. But that overhead, that higher echelon HQ, they can have artillery attached to them as well. And that gives them the ability to call in a greater force of artillery. The only problem is that then you have to do a command check. And that's when you're rolling in, you're trying to check against, basically like a morale check in other games, versus whatever the HQ's command rating is. This one's a 6, so we'd have to get a 6 or under on that check to pass. If it failed, then the artillery doesn't come through. You don't have that drawback with the individual formations, but you don't get to call in quite as much artillery either. So something kind of neat about this game, though, is that you do notice that there are no fired admin markers like you see in other tactical type games. And that's because you can keep shooting. You can keep, hooking and jabbing with these units. You can keep issuing them those fire orders. But like I said, it all comes down to this chart here on the right, the impulse, that snafu table, right? Here, as you start ticking up and your units basically become heavily engaged, they're starting to wear out, that's when more likely to have like bad stuff happen to you, get low ammo results, get a counter battery result, things like that can happen. It can really screw up your battle plans. But for us, we are going to go ahead and issue, I think, a fire order. And something I need to check is I I know that it's the ability to give the fire order to the offboard artillery, and I'm wondering if you can only do that with a call for fire, organic, attached, or in general support to activate to the activated formation, fire to main target. Each order allows firing at a single target hex, thus one target hex per call for fire order. Damn. I was wanting to use their offboard artillery, but I'm right now better off firing directly with the units, using up their missiles before I start getting hit, because I can fire with missiles here. This guy's going to have to just use straight AP, but he still has a high level AP attack. His is 12 versus theirs 9. Damn, he's pretty strong, actually. But I still have both of these helicopters back here, these 3 helicopters here, and these 3 units that get stuck in. This one that I've got back in the reserve, he's a little too far back to do anything right now. And I did double check this again. I even looked for errata on this, on why, because with AP attacks, they are a single unit. I even read it up here. I got pulled to the specific page so I could show you guys. Each unit fires individually at one enemy target unit mounted in vehicles or very small groups, basically specific targets, right? And that's for AP fire or the ATGMs. They all fall under this category. So you can only fire at a single target. And it says, forget where the hell it was, but basically, I think it's over here. AP fire results. Yeah. A number result represents the number of step losses inflicted on the target unit. Disregard any losses over that required to eliminate the target unit. Okay. But there's no unit in this game that is 3 steps. There's none. They're all 2 steps or under. Unless I am flat missing something here, they're all 2 steps or under. So why even have the 3D result? Unless that is there for potential expansion later to the game, because otherwise AP can only be targeted at a specific unit, one specific unit. Can't spread the hate around. So, okay, and like, what's the 3D result for? Even the 2D result, the 2D, because you're getting 2 step losses. 2 step losses. It's 1, 2, flip over. It's eliminated. So what's the disruption for? The disruption's not going to do anything. Yeah, and it doesn't even say that you can apply that disruption to other units in the hex. It says discard and disregard anything that's above what's needed to eliminate the unit. Okay, and I'm checking again just to be sure on this. As I'm telling you guys, it says combat units can have 1, 2, 3 steps. Where's the 3rd step, man? Where is it? I don't see it. All right, so you got the counter, right? Front side, whole. Back side, half. Gone. But that's what it is. There's no 3rd step that I am aware of. You guys have to put it down in the comments and let me know if I'm missing it. I don't think it's an HQ that has the 3 steps, because HQs only have the 1 step, I believe. HQs, platoons, very small companies, and batteries only have 1 step and are permanently eliminated after the 1st step loss. The exception is HQs are reconstituted. All other units have 3 steps. Where? Okay, to record the loss of the 1st step, simply flip the unit to its backside, white stripe. When the unit suffers a 2nd step loss, the unit is removed from the map and placed in its formation reorganization box. Where the hell is that? Oh, that's the right side of all the little boxes. Okay. The user removed from the map, placed in its reorganization box, waiting for reorganization, refit, and repair. If the unit suffers a 3rd step loss, it is completely eliminated and simply removed from the map. That's what I had missed. All right, guys. We figured it out. I figured it out, but I'm a dumbass and I missed that line in the first place. 2 step losses put the unit into these boxes over here, where they can be brought back at half strength later on. However, on the other hand, if you do suffer a 3 step loss, boom, 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 right there in 1 hit, then You don't get to reconstitute. You don't get to come back. You have been Highlandered. You are gone. Only one can remain. So these 2 units over here that we had lost previously, right, that we had taken out, they go into that reorganization box. So both of these go into that reconstitution box. I'll flip them over actually onto their backsides, so we can remember that they can only come back on the others. Actually, the tank can come back, but this anti-air unit cannot come back. It is a 1-step loss unit, which means it's eliminated permanently. All right, now we figured it out. Yes, perfect. I missed that one line, and that one line did make a huge difference. Now that 3-step loss makes perfect sense. In essence, the unit has been bladdered so badly that it cannot come back. All right. They got to go home. They got to eat their little, pokey bait food and call it a day. They're done. All right. Now, let's see if we can get some 3D step losses going on. We're going to fire with everything. Okay. We're going to start left and we're going to work our way right. I've got 2 helicopters over here. They both got line of sight over here. Now, this one could attack this tank. However, his attack would not do that well. He's got a strength of 9. Oh, now this is a possibility because they're at March. And while they're still at March, they're much more vulnerable. Because his attack strength of 9 against him, his defense is a 7, which means that the difference is 2. I'd have to roll a 2 or under on a D10, not even D6, D10 to try to damage him. That's not very good. However, I do get the modifier of them being in March, which gives me a +4 to my attack value on them. Now, this is something that's kind of, I gotta say, it doesn't sit right with me unless I'm missing it somewhere. It's on the back of the rulebook. No. The AP modifiers table, it is not on here. Some of it appears to be on there, but not all of it. Like the part about it being the +4 of targets in March mode. So you kind of got to have the rule book out too. Sorry guys, I know I'm going a little slow with this, but we're working it out as we go. So yeah, some of that needs to be on here. The fire is not disrupted. Firing unit is deployed, so he's not getting that. He's not low on ammo. There is a range bonus if it is 2 hexes or under 2 hexes. So, but regardless, that has to be a non-ATGM weapon. He is firing with his ATGM, so that wouldn't matter. No smoke. Target's not deployed, but he is in March, so I get a +4. So effectively, it takes that attack from a 9 to a 13. So a 13 minus 7 is 6. So I could hit him. And that tank is pretty strong. So we're going to do that. We are going to fire with this helicopter against this tank, and we are going to fire with this helicopter against one of the recon vehicles. I think they are both the same. Yeah, the 10th IG, blah, 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 whatever they are. They both have the same stats. And each one of these carries a single powerful missile. So taking them out is good. Let's mark both of these helicopters as low. They're effectively firing 1 volley. Sir, his is going to be a 6 or under on his AP, firing at the tank. Come on, give me big money, big money, big money, big money. 3 is just a single step loss. Damn. Oh, it's only a single step unit. Oh, look at that. Bye now. Single step unit, so it is destroyed. Lovely. Perfect. This guy is firing here now. Their defense is only a 1, and his ATGM value is a 10. So he gets to roll a 9 or under. 9 or under. Basically, he's pretty well set. He just doesn't want to, well, even a 9 is a no result, so he wants to have a 1 through 8. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. This is going to be a 9. Watch his 9 roll. Watch it. No, 7. 2D, so he does fully eliminate the unit, but this unit is a 2-step unit. So that means He goes into the box. He's not fully destroyed. He is part of the 10th. And the 10th is not on here. They are attached to the 45th. So I'm going to put him with the 45th. Because he is attached, to be able to do the FSC stuff. So that worked pretty well. They've only got the FSC and one recon vehicle left, right? So that's perfect for those guys. Now we can swing over here to the right, and we're going to just fire off a volley just all the way down, just trying to pull as much pain off as possible. And I know it seems kind of weird that I'm not targeting their tanks outright, but the reason I'm not targeting their tanks... Oh, I keep forgetting to do this. I got to roll on the snafu table. Did I move that yet? No, I haven't moved that yet. That's what I'm talking about. That is so easy to forget. We're still in green, so nothing to worry about there. 8, no effect. Move it over. Now we're in yellow, so that's going to start being a problem. Make sure you don't forget that. It is easy to forget, but it's the coolest aspect of this game. And yeah, you got to make sure you remember it. But you get so stuck in here because the gameplay is cool. You don't want to pull away from the map. It pulls me back in. Pulls me back into it. All right. Helicopters, make shooty. Go bam, bam. But like I was saying, part of the reason I'm targeting these recon vehicles, one, they're very weak. And I know it almost feels like it's a waste of missiles to fire at them, right? But I can reload these guys by sending them back. Thing of it is I'm like guaranteed to take them out. And these guys have that one-off missile. These Soviet recon vehicles all have that one-off missile. All the tanks have armor-piercing shots, so they suck. But like this recon vehicle, he is stronger than tank one time. After that, he's weaker, much weaker. But I don't want these recon vehicles coming in here and blowing up my guys when they have this one really good shot. So if I take them out, I'm much more likely to weather the incoming fire from the tanks than I am these one-off missiles. That's why I've been targeting them. So he's going to fire here, and he's getting a +4 with a -1. With that, just 12. So he can hit. The only thing I'm not looking for is another 9. I just don't want a 9 result because a 9 result is nothing. All right, come on. Big money, big money, big money, big money. 7, got him. Perfect. It'll be great. And 8 means that they can't come back. 7 means they do get a chance to come back. So he's 45th. 45th. All right, put him there. He's fired. I need to remember who I'm firing with. All right, I'm back to using my little yellow beach. Then this is just mnemonic, just for me to remember, hey, I've already fired with that unit as I'm circling around down. I mean, I'm not that likely to forget since I'm just making a lap, but I want to make sure. Since I op-fired with these fools, I'm going to have to fire their last missile before they return back. But that's all right. Or... his HE is a range of 2, so I could fire HE over here, and I'm getting the +4. I'd make that very easy to hit, and I think him firing HE against these, I might be able to get both. Let me check that. All right, so here's where we're at. I checked it out. These two guys are in a little town, right? Little town. And what that means is if I fire with HE with this helicopter, they get the town's defensive bonus. That is over here on this chart, right? So modifiers that apply. And they would get a +4 to their defense against an HE attack, right? And that makes it to where the March thing, the modifier for March is offset by the town. So it would just be a 6, 6 or under to apply because nothing else. He's not disrupted, no tac mode, not low on ammo. The range isn't 1. If the range was 1, I'd get a +2, but I'm not. Targets are not deployed. Yep. Yeah, see, the difference is multiple units can combine their attack. Oh no! Oh no! I just realized if I had combined their HE attack, that would have given me a 12. That would have been a guaranteed just Blattereski all over that hex and just torn them the fudge knuckle apart. But I cannot do that now. Oh yeah, that HE can do some good work. All right, we're going to risk it because I might be able to get both of these guys. Well, I can guarantee a kill, but the HE results on the combat table, the best I could hope for is a 1 and a disruption. But I could hit that. I could wound one and disrupt the other. Screw it. We're going missile. We'll stick with that because I know with the missile, all I have to do is not roll a 9 and I get them. So we're going to flip him over to ATGM out. And we're going to fire his last missile. And he got a 3. 3 will be 1 step loss. No! That is not a guarantee of shit. Oh! Damn, I should have just done the... Damn. I should have just done the HE attack. With that, I would still have a missile. Ah! And sadly, all these guys that still have yet to fire are just out of their HE range, with the exception of down here. I have 2 units, 2 of these lighter units. Well, 1 lighter unit. And these guys could combine their HE, but he has a very good AP shot. I'm almost thinking I'm better off just sticking with the AP for the guaranteed kills that I can get out of it. One of these tanks is dead, and they got 5 tanks sitting right here, and another 3 right there against just the handful. I'm almost just thinking I'm better off by hitting with the tanks and using the AP to try to just eliminate them. Because they have a value of 18. I mean, that's almost just guaranteed blattage. All right, we're getting a little long in the tooth, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just fire missile. Well, missile, AP shot down here because he doesn't have any missiles. So he's getting flipped over to ATGM low. And with the modifiers, I know with the target he is firing at that as long as it's not a 9, he gets whatever result it is. Ah. All right, sadly, I dropped my dice. So the black one's over there on the floor somewhere. We're going to do the red one now. 3. 3 is just a 1. No! God, we're rolling bad now. Rolling so bad. That reduced his fire, but nothing. All right. And let's pull ATGM low for 2 of these guys here. Because they're both firing their big whammies. They're like tow missiles, which is a value of 18. 18, it's up there with a +4. Doesn't matter whatever modifiers they got. It's anything but a critical miss with the die means that they hit and they get whatever they've rolled. So it's just what is their target going to be? And I'm thinking I just try to pull down some of these tanks with these bigger missiles. Yeah, especially because I've got the higher modifier, because their defense against these missiles is 7. But even with that, their firepower is so great, especially with the March modifier. I mean, it's it. So I'm just hoping to get big results to blat tanks off the board. So one attack, and then this one's going to be similar. 6. 6 is 2D. We'll take one of these. 211. He is being refit and repaired. So that's 1. Next one is 4. 4 is a 1. You suck. You're fired. We'll take this guy down. Lost a single step. And this guy, his AP rating is a 12. He's getting +4. So he's got 16. Could target those, or I could target these. Actually, I'm going to target their last anti-air unit down here just to try to protect my helicopters. So with their defensive rating, there's nothing. No! He got the critical miss. Critical miss! 9! God, you suck! Private Piles loading. He's aiming. Damn. Son of a butt. That sucked. Okay. That means the Americans have finished off all their turns. He doesn't have any shots at anyone. The helicopters are fired everything. I'm running low on missiles. I have a missile left here and here. And I think these guys are all out. Are they all out? No, he has... Oh, he hadn't fired before. So he's got 1 missile left. These 2 are out. So I have 3 helicopters with 1 missile left. Both of these guys are low on missiles, so they are going to need to do a refit, rearm, repair. But I'm going to fire their remaining missiles. That is a big advantage. That is a big advantage that the American units do have, is that they have the ability to reload in safety. They can stay inside the fighting vehicle and reload the missile launcher, whereas the Soviet units did not have that capability. Like their recon units that have a missile, hey, it's great, but they have to get out to reload that launcher. Americans don't have that problem. Plus their missiles better. So the Americans have better stats, better equipment, but they are just overwhelmed. They're going to get diced. Thing of it is, though, is here's how this plays out. The next turn, the Soviets have to spend an order just to take units out of March. That's it. And then it goes back to the American turn. Spend another order to take these guys out of March. Goes back to the American turn. The March can get them a long ways on the board, but it takes a while to flip them back over to attack. And this, after they go for March, they go into tactical, and then they have to deploy. And deploy is where they can really start hooking and jabbing, but that's a couple turns away. So the Americans get to lay waste for a few turns and try to level everything that they can while the Soviets are trying to get into a position and then start firing. It explains why the Soviets have so many more units, because the Americans are able to be dug in, entrenched, ready to go against the Soviet onslaught. And they get to fire for at least a couple of turns before the Soviets get to really start, firing back. Now, they can fire in tactical mode, but tactical mode is not as good. They get a negative modifier, -2 modifier if they're firing. Plus, if they're not using missiles, which they will, or AP, the Americans are going to get a higher defense as well. I think I might have missed a modifier up here for the AP for these recon vehicles, but we're not going to worry about it. We'll hit that on the next one. Occasionally you're going to miss a modifier. It is what it is. Just play it out. See what happens. It's not a big deal, because if you miss one here, you miss one there. Anyway, I don't know. I wasn't planning on doing a 3-part series playthrough on this, but I kind of want to let the Soviets fire. At least let them lay waste to some of the American units after taking all these turns. So I'm probably going to play one more turn or one more round of it and let the Soviets have a turn, getting out of March and then firing with, a whole slew of units over here. Maybe call in some HE and see what they can do with that. All the cool stuff that they got. They deserve a chance to fire with it. Even though their FSE it got laid waste. I think I probably could have handled this with just one helicopter over here, because they don't have much left. They've got an HQ. Other than that, they've got one little recon vehicle. But that recon vehicle, if it got within range, it could endanger this HQ over here for the Americans. So something to worry about. All right, that's going to be it for this one. You guys stay tuned. I will do one more playthrough video on this one, because I've been having fun with it. I kind of want to play it out and see how the Soviets do. We're definitely not going to do the whole scenario. It'd take way too long to play through the entire thing with it going back and forth and me talking the whole way through. So I do want to show you guys a little bit more of the gameplay though. All right, y'all take care. I'll catch you in the next one.